Hello, Cuddlist. Madelon here. So many of you know that live streaming and making these videos and talking to you all, the general public, has been personal growth for me. Getting over my self-consciousness, the self-doubt in my head, and putting myself out there is challenging. It's uncomfortable, and it's rewarding. It really is. So yesterday, something kind of funny happened. I was doing one of these live streams, talking about community and the importance of other practitioners. And suddenly in the middle of it, about a minute in, I realized that I wasn't talking to Cuddlist. I was talking to my regular Facebook group, which has like, I don't know, hundreds or 1,000 people on it, much more of a bigger public audience. And I felt really exposed. I felt like being naked suddenly. And, and I said that in the middle of the video. And then I was like, oh, well, people know what I do. And I just continued. And thankfully, Michelle, who's watching, hi, told me she could post the video where it was supposed to be. But I guess what I realized today, thinking about it, was that the fact that I had stretched myself into something uncomfortable, and it was even more uncomfortable than I realized, but that I was okay with it, is a really good sign of self-love, that my self-love is growing, that it's a lot less about what other people think about me than about being true to myself. And that made me feel really good today. And it made me think of the video I made a while back about self-love, that we can only receive love to the degree that we love ourselves. And that has to mean giving ourselves permission to be awkward and to make mistakes and to not be perfect, because those are the places that need the most love, that are the most scared and the most rewarding to love. So, small little story. This is Cuddle Party, really, in all of our rules about meeting our clients where they're at, like not pushing too hard, not shooting ourselves or shaming ourselves into being, more loving than we are for ourselves or others, or being better than we are, but still pushing that comfort zone into the learning zone, into the expanding zone. So, small little story. My son has his driver's permit and, is learning to drive, which is scary. But of course you only get better by doing it, right? And so I've been like, so do you want to drive? Do you want to drive? We were at the grocery store the other day, and do you want to drive? And he's like, no, I don't. It was the parking lot. It was, he needed more practice. But he was too afraid to pull out of the parking lot, which I get. Parking lots are really hectic and dangerous places. So I was like, well, how about if I pull out of the parking lot and then pull over, and then you can drive the rest of the way home? And he said yes to that. So I guess all of that is to say, like, finding the places where we're pushing ourselves gently, kindly, responsibly, and not copping out, but also not making it harder than it has to be. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Just a very sweet comment. And so yeah. That's my encouragement for all of us today, to find the places where we can show up for the things that we're afraid of, but to do it in a way that's not too much. Don't shame yourself, for being where you're at, but really, really, really embrace it, because you're perfect. You're perfectly imperfect. All right. Love you all.